Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Monday, the 22nd day of July. It's Lion's Share Day today, Fragile X Awareness Day today, Hammock Day, Mango Day, Panouche Fudge Day. That sounds delicious. Rat Catcher's Day. That doesn't sound delicious. Pie Approximation Day. So I don't know if that means that we're like halfway back to Pie Day. I don't know. Spoonerism Day, World Brain Day, and Summer Leisure Day. All of that and much, much more happening.
Summer Leisure Day and Hammock Day go hand in hand.
They do. And you know what else? Today is, I am so excited. It's a Movie Star Monday. And
I know why you're excited, and I'm
talking
excited too.
Elizabeth Shue.
That's pretty awesome.
From Karate Kid, from Back to the Future 2 and 3, from so many movies.
From Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah, I mean, she is in Cocktail. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. She's got a new movie that's coming out right now. I'm going to chat with her all about that coming up. The one and only Miss Elizabeth Shue. Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Do you think you know how to clean things properly? If so, you're in the minority. 2,000 parents in the United States found that they did a survey, found 26% have been told they don't know how to do laundry the right way. 28% have been told they mop and sweep wrong. 33%.
I've been told I sweep wrong.
33% apparently even fold laundry incorrectly. It's like they live with Heidi. She's telling me all the time I'm doing all this wrong. Who do we blame all of this on? We blame it on mom and dad. You bet we can. 4 in 10 respondents say that they've been seeing their parents do these things the wrong way for years. 26% said they were never taught how to mow the lawn. 1/4 were never taught how to do garden or yard work. 24% said they were never even taught how to properly load a dishwasher. So I have an idea for a video series, Heidi. Tidy Heidi Teaches Everything. Heidi could do this because she's good. She's really good. So I got to convince her to do this, but it would be nice. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signings, costume parties, and more. Single-day tickets on sale now at RetromaniaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that Maine is the only state that borders just one state? If you're in Maine, you'll have the Atlantic Ocean to the south, Canada to the north, but you have one state, New Hampshire, because Maine is the only state in the country that borders just one state. There are many that border two. There's some that border none, like Hawaii and Alaska, but Maine is the only one that borders just one state.
Very interesting.
We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com. Big Brother has revealed the cast for season 26. How is it possible that we're up to season 26?
I didn't even know Big Brother was still a thing.
Yeah, and they include a twist for the house guests as Big Brother AI takes over. 16 house guests will be able to vote for a 17th house guest whose identity will remain a secret. So there's a whole lot going on over there. That's on CBS. It's going to be on Sundays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. That seems like a lot of nights.
That's a lot of nights.
Yeah. And the Will Rogers Motion Picture Pioneers Foundation have named Greta Gerwig as the recipient of their 2024 Pioneer of the Year Award, given to leaders of the entertainment industry who show commitment to philanthropy and to the community. So that's kind of cool. The Barbie director will be honored at the foundation's annual fundraising dinner, September the 25th in Beverly at the Hilton. So here's the thing. We should throw our own little party and honor some big celebrities, but you have to come here to get your award. Congratulations. Here it is. You're like, why is this made of aluminum foil? It's all we could afford. Thanks for making the trip. All right. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. The Dalai Lama has called on young people to make this a happier century. I've been doing this for months. You guys are
super important.
Nobody's quoting me for doing it. Dalai Lama says. Yeah, of course the Dalai Lama says. Probably been reading my tweets. I'm just kidding. I think it's really cool, and I'm just trying to bring some levity to this. But I agree wholeheartedly that we should make this a happier century. We should get along with each other. We should not fight so much. I mean, I have a whole manifesto typed up, and I read it to Heidi, and she's like, nope. Can I share this? Nope.
No need.
All right. I'll give you the brief example of it. It was just be nice to each other. There you go. I said that in 5 minutes, but I also just said it in 5 seconds. And moving on. Watching an important football or basketball game or any such sport can be stressful, especially if you've got money on the line. But here's the good news. Research has shown that people who watch sports actually enjoy greater well-being than people like me who don't watch sports, and it can make you live longer.
I
Can you believe that?
suppose because you get your heart pumping, and
Maybe.
it's probably like a workout.
Scientists at Angelia Ruskin University, I'm probably saying it wrong, they used survey data from over 7,000 adults in England. They found those who attend a live sporting event at least once a year are more satisfied with their lives. They feel their life is more worthwhile, and they're less lonely than people who have not. Other studies have found that people who watch sports in person at least once a year have fewer depressive symptoms than those who do not. It was also found that watching sports on TV or online can also be good for your well-being. Therefore, it can contribute to a longer lifespan. So what they're trying to say is if you're not a fan of sports like me, we should apparently get around to liking sports. I struggle with it because I don't have the attention span to sit there that long.
It depends on the sport.
If they could do some sort of sport and get it done in like 5 minutes, I'm in. But I'm like, how long is this game? What? Hours? No. All right. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to visit right now with Elizabeth Shue, and there's a new film that's coming out on July 23rd and 25th. It'll be in special theaters for Fathom Events, a special event, and the film is called The Good Half. And first of all, I've not had a chance to see this yet, but I'm excited to see it. I watched the trailer. This looks amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love this movie. It's a really beautiful movie that brings you back to the 80s when they used to make movies about people, families, and it's very funny, and also obviously pretty emotional, of course, because it's about my death and it's about my oldest son coming home from my funeral and the family, this sort of dysfunctional family that has to go through the grieving process.
And the story is about life, the story is about love, the story is about losing a loved one. But I think this is something that every single person can connect with because we've all been through something like this.
Yes. And that's what I really respect the movie because it deals with such like a obviously very emotional, tragic story, but it does it in a way that's so honest. And honestly, you know, the loss that I've gone through, you don't react the way they show it in the actual movies. It's usually much messier. People are shut down, they're numb and shocked, and they're angry, and they're just like lost. And there's great humor in that, oddly enough.
And I was going to say, with the humor, you don't necessarily think about a movie about somebody passing away being a funny movie, but it's a touching story. But there's also some humor in there. When you think about the cast, you've got David Arquette, you've got Matt Walsh, you've got Nick Jonas, you've got Brittany Snow. There are some people who, and of course Elizabeth Shue, who we're talking to now. But you've got people who can take this very serious moment
and bring some levity to it and make it kind of funny. And just in the trailer, there were several laugh out loud moments just in the trailer alone.
I know. Don't you love the last scene in the trailer when they're looking for caskets, which obviously is one of the most absurd process when you go through this, and the lady's jumping into all the caskets to see which one she likes better.
It's a forever home.
It's so funny.
So now you've had the chance to be a part of some of the biggest movies of the 80s and 90s. And as a kid, I grew up watching Karate Kid, Adventures in Babysitting, Cocktail, Back to the Future 2 and 3, and then into the 90s, some other amazing films that you had a chance to be a part of. Then on television, you've had a chance to be a part of some huge series on television as well. Do you ever just kind of go, do I really get to do all of this cool stuff? Because you've led a pretty amazing life.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. I'm very blessed. I am. I when I look back and think, when I first started out, would I have ever even gotten to be in a commercial? God forbid, even just a movie or one movie. To imagine that I could actually keep at it for all these years is just an incredible blessing, for sure.
Was one of the first films, The Karate Kid, was that one of your first big films that you had a chance to be a part of?
Yeah, that was my very first film.
Absolutely. And I think it's really cool when Cobra Kai came out, all of these original cast members from the movies are in that. And of course, your character is in that as well. What was it like working with all those people all these years later?
Well, it was definitely like, that sort of strange high school reunion moment where you haven't seen people for a very long time. Ralph and I hadn't seen each other for like 20 years. And I saw him at the end of the hall, and there he was. And we both just started like laughing and saying, "Oh my God," a lot. "Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so weird." And then, we instantly went into reading the script together, and so strange how it felt like no time had passed. We were the acting, the way we talked to each other, it was like we were just back doing The Karate Kid.
We watched it the very first season before it had blown up and become the amazing thing that it is now. Our son is actually the one that said, "You guys got to see this." And we watched it and we fell in love with it. And I remember when they were kind of hinting to the fact that your character was coming, and we were so excited. And it wasn't just you, it was all of the characters. You're like, how in the world did they get everybody to come back and be a part of this? I thought that was absolutely amazing.
Well, I think they proved themselves. The quality of the show was excellent. I mean, I think Ralph and Billy were probably a little bit worried at just the concept because it has never been done before. So I think once they proved themselves in that first season that it was artistically so sound, I think everyone obviously wanted to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Elizabeth, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate you getting the movie out there. Thank you.
Absolutely. And again, The Good Half in theaters July 23rd and 25th through Fathom Events. It's a special screening. I've got a link to all the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Martin Luther King Jr. was given a C in public speaking while attending the seminary in Pennsylvania. Can you imagine giving a C? Now is known as one of the best orators of all time, so that's kind of interesting. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Brad Pitt injured his Achilles heel while playing Achilles in the historic film Troy.
I actually loved that movie.
Yeah.
And that is very interesting.
That is very interesting. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Jumbo jets use about 5,000 gallons of fuel just to take off.
Ew.
Yeah, that's a lot of fuel. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Hair and nails grow faster when you're pregnant than when you're not.
Okay.
Oh, that's really cool. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A strawberry is not actually a berry, but a banana is a berry. Okay. I'm going to just think about that for the rest of my day. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thank you for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signings, costume parties, and more. Single day tickets on sale now at RetroManiaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. Average person will say this 5 times today. I bet I say it more than that, and I bet you say it more than that. What do you think it is?
What the wrong with you?
No, not that at all. That's not even close.
That's probably a much higher number.
No, the answer is thank you, by the way.
Oh.
So thank you, Heidi, for making me use my bleep button on a Monday. That's not what I was planning in this break, but there you go. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Time now for some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Casual clothing, a chilly treat, and a look of dismay are the season's hottest clothing trend. It's called the Affleck effect, named after Ben Affleck, who apparently just goes out looking frumpy and doesn't really care.
Okay.
Paired with an ever-present cold coffee drink, he seems to deeply resonate with Gen Z and millennials. Tastemakers are going with the Gone Girl star not-so-glitzy getup of vintage tees, loose-fitting jeans, and caffeine, along with an expression of boredom or disdain, and posting photos of themselves enjoying this iced coffee drink, usually with a hashtag or caption explaining that they're enjoying a, quote, Ben Affleck summer, end quote.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Alrighty then.
Do you think he appreciates that?
I don't know.
I don't think he cares. He seems to not really care about much lately.
Right.
He's just like, whatever, I don't care. Do what you want to do. I have a nephew who looks exactly like a young Ben Affleck. Don't you think?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, you've said
oh, my
that
goodness. I
repeatedly,
think he looks
but
exactly
no.
like him. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. We're going to start with this today. We might have to do this for a few days. Famous figures whose names you're probably mispronouncing. Dr. Seuss. Theodore Seuss Geisel's pen name was Dr. Seuss. The correct German pronunciation rhymes with voice, so Dr. Seuss is how it should be. Jake Gyllenhaal, his surname is pronounced something like Yil and Hyla.
Oh.
He joked on Conan O'Brien that nobody can get it right. The only place they can get it right is Sweden and IKEA.
Weird.
Dr. Jekyll. Turns out it's actually Dr. Jekyll. The character comes from 1886 novel Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but we say it Jekyll, rhyming with
Interesting.
heckle. It's supposed to be Jekyll. Rhymes with treacle, which I've never heard of before.
Okay. We get it.
That is not helpful. Vincent van Gogh. North Americans pronounce it Van Gogh, while Brits tend to say Van Gogh. Turning the Dutch pronunciation with more of a guttural noise, which kind of rhymes with cough or laugh.
Not even a little.
Laugh and cough don't rhyme. So I've got more of these wonderful things to share in the coming days. I've got the entire list in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com. Jeff Winger from the TV show Community, his character says, I would do anything for my friends, which I think is how everyone in the world feels, which is why I finally understand war.
Okay.
Oh, I got a good quote coming up, I think tomorrow. As I was digging through these, I'm like, oh, this is so good. But I'll share that one tomorrow. This was today's quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Our story today comes from, where does this come from? Somewhere near the Pacific Ocean. Miraculous rescue. Woman swept out to sea, found after 37 hours of being adrift. A young woman swept out to sea while swimming on a beach in Japan. Okay, that's where. Has been rescued 37 hours later. Drifted more than 50 miles into the Pacific Ocean. Identified as a Chinese national in her 20s, the woman's harrowing ordeal ended thanks to the combined efforts of Japan's Coast Guard and a couple of ships. The dramatic rescue began after the woman's friend reported her disappearance Monday. This is like a week ago. They were swimming on a beach, and it is believed that she was swept out to sea by a powerful current. Their Coast Guard launched an extensive search operation, scouring the waters for any sign of her. Remarkably, about 36 hours later, a cargo ship spotted the woman adrift out in the middle of the ocean.
That is insane.
They called on a passing LPG tanker for assistance, demonstrating incredible bravery. 2 crew members of the tanker jumped into the turbulent 6.5-foot waves to rescue her. Crew members recalled shouting encouragement to the woman, urging her not to give up and struggling to stay afloat as she was. They tied a rope around her with the help of fellow crew members, successfully pulling her to safety. She was airlifted by Coast Guard helicopter to shore. So I'm looking to see. It doesn't show if she was on like a floaty. Trying to figure out if she was swimming this whole time.
Yeah, there's no way for that long.
She was in
had
good
to have
health,
been on something.
Slightly dehydrated, extraordinarily fortunate to survive considering the potential dangers of
That
heat
is
stroke, hypothermia at night,
nuts.
or even being struck by a ship at night. So there's a lot of things that could have gone the wrong way, but luckily everything went just the right way, and this little miracle unfolded. I've got a link to the story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.